For those of you guys that are just tuning in, today we're going to be talking about Q&A, everyday beginner guides, questions to those who are studying the tarot or interested in studying the tarot. That's what we're talking about today. This is from our live chat, one of our live chats at the Sacred Circle Tarot School. And we have a list of questions that I get asked a lot. Eric here is a beginner when it comes to tarot, for those of you guys that don't know, and he has his own questions on his phone, and we're going to dive into it. So if you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments. Let me know via text, and I'll be able to answer them, but also keep in mind that this video is live at the time of me filming it, so I'll be answering those questions. Are we ready? Yeah. Are we ready? Okay, first question. Eric, do you want to shoot your shot?
I'm going to shoot my shot.
Okay.
So my first question is, should you always reset your deck as far as cards? Sometimes cards are like reversed, so should you always
reset?
So should you always reset your cards or just leave it as is?
Right. Okay, so when you say reset, what you're actually trying to say is cleansing. Should I cleanse my deck? Because that is kind of like a spiritually reset. But I love the fact that you use the word reset, because that's actually essentially what it is. And basically what I would do and what I recommend is, you should cleanse your deck minimum one time a month if you don't use it as aggressively as I do. If you are shuffling your cards once a week or once every 2 weeks, or you're shuffling for your friends or whatever, then you should use sage or Palo Santo or incense, or break your deck into 3 different piles and separate it. So let me go ahead and show you. Well, you know what? Let's leave that for the next. I'm going to put that in part 2 of this question, which is how do you cleanse your deck, and how do you reset it. I actually like the fact that you use the word reset. Yeah, that's
such a beginner word.
Yeah, it really is such a beginner word. It's like hitting. The reason why you would want to cleanse your deck and reset your deck is because over time those energies get so freaking bogged down. They get like they bog the cards down. You'll start seeing that your cards, they are, I don't want to say repeating the answers, but they get muddled, and the answer doesn't feel as clear as if you did do a spiritual cleansing or you energetically cleansed your deck. Now, for me personally, there's the amount of time that I would use it. So just like how I was saying that you should cleanse your deck once a month, I actually do mine more often. I cleanse my deck more often because I'm working with it all the time. I'm shuffling multiple times a day, and I'm working with different energies. And during those readings, the energies can be really intense because there's a lot of information and energy that channels through. For example, just last week, I did a reading for someone, and someone who passed on really close to her came through, and it just needed, not that it was negative or anything like that, but we needed to cleanse that energy. I need to cleanse my own energy before I move forward with the rest of, doing a reading for myself or anybody else, because that energy will linger. Now, how do you cleanse your deck? Some people will use something like Palo Santo, which, as you can see, I have that here, and I've already burned the tip of it. Some of you guys like to use sage. I use sage for a power cleansing, definitely minimum once a month, but I will do it at least once a week for me personally, because of the life that I live, why I'm constantly shuffling. Palo Santo is like a light cleansing. Another thing that I do while I'm sitting at my desk is, like, let's say if I'm doing an everyday, daily type of tarot reading or card pull, I will shuffle the cards and then put it over the incense, which is normally burning, or I'll put it over a protection candle, kind of similar to this one. And then the other thing that I really highly recommend, and this is really time consuming, people have kind of come for me when I say this, but really what I do is I will break the cards down into 3 different piles and put a prayer over them and separate them, just kind of honoring and following my vibes, in order to, put a prayer, cleansing prayer and energy over it, in order to wipe it, reset it, and then, do the whole deck that way, put it all the way together, if that makes any sense. Does this make sense?
Yes.
Is that okay?
Yes.
Haley says, I use cedar or mugwort too for cleansing. I definitely recommend cedar, burning cedar wood, or like Elizabeth is saying, sage essential in a diffuser is as effective as using a sage bundle, abso-freaking-lutely. Mugwort, probably not so much. That's just my personal preference, because mugwort just is so trippy. It really is trippy for me. Okay, someone just said, hold on, let me read through that comment really quickly. Is it acceptable? Nay says, is it acceptable to use Florida water or use your Palo Santo spray to cleanse? Yes and no. You really want to be careful. If you're going to use Florida water, make sure that it's blessed first and cleansed first. Whether you put that blessing over it yourself or you're using the full moon. And then you want to make sure that you're taking a rag or a cloth. I'm notorious for using handkerchiefs, and I splash the Florida water on the rag and then I wipe it down. But that is very time consuming, and I used to do that at the start of my journey, but because I'm shuffling with my cards so much, I really don't do it more than once a month, and that's probably because I'm lazy. That's when I'm going to start getting lazy, to be quite honest with you. Okay?
Next question.
Right. If you guys have any other... What? Tell me.
Sorry.
Tell me.
So I always look at the time, and it always lands on 6:18, which also coincidentally it's my birthday, but
that's your power number.
So it's 6:18 right now.
Yeah.
Would you let people touch your deck?
Oh, that's a really good question. That's a good question. I'm glad you asked that. So there's some people that I do not allow to touch my deck, and it's because I usually don't like them. I don't like their energy. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It's because I don't like their energy, so I don't want them touching me. I don't want them touching my deck. I don't want them touching my purse. I don't want them touching my food. Don't touch, like, literally don't
touch anything.
Don't touch anything. Just don't touch it. Just don't. Just don't. Ah. But most often, if I'm doing a reading for someone, most people will keep their hands to themselves, but I prefer that you just let me do what it is I'm doing. If I hand you the deck, then you can shuffle with it and pull, but I'm going to do what I want to do. But sometimes I do actually feel called to slide my deck over, and I have them touch it and I have them shuffle with it, but that's kind of rare. It's not that I don't want other people's energy on my deck, because there's a deck that I use when I'm working with friends or working with other people. Or someone just said, girl talk, Eric's hot. Way too young for me, but still hot. Okay.
Well,
yes,
thanks.
Eric, take that compliment. Masculine energy over here. It's so funny. But yeah, there's some decks that I really allow people to touch, or that I shuffle with the most. This is obviously one of them, my Rider Waite. But there's other decks. For example, we have the Nefertiti Tarot that I prefer people don't touch. So it really kind of depends. There's many people who don't like having other people touch their tarot cards. I have many friends that don't like it. Let me know if you let me know in the comments now or down below if you like people touching your deck or not. Tasha's asking a question and says, do you reset your reversals? No, I don't. I leave them. And basically what Tasha's saying is if there's let's say we're looking at this card right here, right? Do I take that and do I make sure that they're upright? No, I just allow it to be what it is. And that's because in my journey currently, I don't read reversed or upright. And the reason why that is, and that's kind of like a mind fuck right there, but the reason, what I'm saying is that I just look at the tarot card and I look beyond it. That's where I'm at. So I will see the symbolism and it'll trigger, for me, the tarot is always a tool. It's always an intuitive tool. So I will use that tool in order to access my intuition, and there's certain things that get triggered by me looking at that card. So it doesn't matter if it's upright or reversed. That's where I'm at in my journey. But again, I'm at advanced and then some right now. That's kind of, it's been years, but not only that, but I've just been getting like initiated so hardcore with the tarot, definitely within the last 3 years. So I don't even see the same tarot, but it's like I don't see the tarot the same way that I ever thought that I would. Like if I was to go back and look at myself now and be like, what do you mean you don't see the tarot, you see past it? I don't know how to describe it. That's just where I'm at right now. But that's a very good question, Tasha. And I will say that there are some people who do reset and flip the cards and put it back to status quo and make them upright. I'm not one of them. I don't even look at it. I just spiritually cleanse it, make sure that the energy is good. But again, I'm not looking at the meanings of the tarot cards anymore. I look past that. Okay. Justina says, I only allow my kiddos. Everyone else can look. Hell yeah. I've had one friend be like, don't touch my tarot, Jess. And I was like, whoop, whoop. Sorry, girl. Like, did not mean to offend you. But there's some people who are very protective. Would you allow people to touch your deck?
No. And you know what's funny? Because you went and touched my zombie deck.
Oh.
But I was like, but this is okay. Like, because
yeah.
you're like my teacher. You're my
Yeah,
mentor.
but even if you don't want me ever touching
But I was
your...
comfortable. But like, if there's anyone curious that comes into my apartment,
Don't.
I want to hide them. Like,
Yeah.
I don't even want them seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel you on that. I feel you. You getting so the zombie tarot, I looked at that and I was just like, there's no way I would want that card deck. And then Eric brought it and he was working on packing orders and I just was like, I couldn't stop freaking shuffling it. And then I had to I was like obsessed with yours.
Yeah.
Like I really wanted to even take his. It was so good. I still have it. My tarot.
It's like, Jess, I'll take mine now.
Hold on to it. Okay. Yeah. Next question. Wait, I want to answer one question that I get asked a lot. Is it bad luck to be given a tarot deck? Or wait, is it bad luck to buy your own tarot deck? I don't know where that like old wives' tale came from, that superstition came from. I've never heard that before in my life. Coincidentally, I actually received my first tarot deck as a gift, but it is not bad luck to buy your own tarot deck. It's nice to receive it as a gift, but it is not bad luck. If you do not have people supporting you along your journey, and there are many people out there who do not have supporting friends and family or a community that would support you getting a tarot deck, you're going to wait your entire life. It's just not, I get that question asked a lot. If you want to buy your own tarot deck, and if you want to start working with the tarot, by all means go out and get it yourself. Take that leap of faith, but it's not negative. The other thing, see, Michelle here says, what if I found mine at a garage sale? It looked barely used. I buy my decks. A lot of my decks, I actually prefer that I get them used. For example, I bought my Doreen Virtue's Romance Oracle deck. I bought that used and I cleansed it using a deep sage, and then I waited the full moon and I did a deep cleansing under that, and then I did Florida water on it, and then I blessed it. So that's something that I recommend. But there are some things like there's some things that I could just pick up on the energy of it by touching it. The same thing with people, that if I don't like it, if it doesn't vibe with me, I don't pick it up. But I actually sometimes prefer some decks that are broken in because they're already shuffled and that person is already, hopefully their vibe is good, then it's still positive and I just have like a reset. But not everybody will agree with me, but that's something that I would do, is I would definitely buy my cards used. And I wouldn't feel bad about that at all. Sometimes I actually look for them to be used, especially Oracle decks. This Oracle deck that I just got recently, I was like mind blown over it. Why did it take me so long to get this? I was hoping that I would get it used. I didn't. I was a little disappointed actually to buy it new than I would have if I would have gotten used. I was hoping that I would get it used just because I wanted it broken in. Did you have another question?
Yes. So how do you use the tarot?
Sorry, go ahead.
How do you use the tarot to measure time? Like if you want to ask a question of like, am I going to receive this message tomorrow? Or like...
Come closer into there you go. So that question with tarot timing is so complicated. But I will say the short answer to that is that major arcana, when it comes to timing, you can do it as a year. There's people who will fight me on this, and I don't agree with this. I'm only saying one theory. And everybody's different. So you can, using the major arcana, there's some people who separate and split the tarot deck into two piles between the major and the minor arcana, and then they'll shuffle from the major arcana, and whatever card they pull will show like what year, what day, when something will happen. I don't support that because there's so many fucking factors. Number one, you're automatically assuming that it's a yes and that it's going to happen, when in the reality is like, is it? You're just kind of hoping for the best and you're hoping that it will or that it won't happen, when the reality is that, tarot doesn't really want to confine itself. It's never, ever really wanted to confine itself. But one of my favorite ways to work with tarot timing, when I feel that there is confirmation that this thing is going to manifest and is going to happen, is by shuffling and seeing what jumps out. If we have things like wands or swords, it tends to come in faster, with wands happening faster than swords. If we have things like cups or pentacles, cups can be anywhere between days and weeks and months. Pentacles is anywhere between days, weeks, months, years. Pentacles is the slowest out of all of them. The thing is that if you pull from the major arcana, the major arcana is going to show you that this thing isn't going to happen until this happens within your life, or this energy steps into this. So that's something that I'll see within the major arcana. If you see the major arcana, then it's really not on a timetable. It's not a definitive. It's more about the energy that is around you. If you see minor arcana or the wands, I'm sorry, not wands, court cards, like pages and knights, then that's something is coming on the horizon, especially when it comes to messages and hearing from someone or something. There's something else that I wanted to say with that, and the thought went poof, gone, just like the Eight of Wands, gone. Okay, does anybody have any questions about tarot timing? I could literally go into hardcore detail. The fastest cards within the tarot are the Eight of Wands. The Magician is really fast, even though I just said major arcana is, but there's just so many freaking factors. The Fool card usually can be pretty fast, and even a part of the major arcana. Judgment can be very fast. Death card I've seen has been really fast, even though people are afraid of it. Eight of Wands, definitely. Any of the court cards, considering the pages and the knights. What else do we have? What else is really fast? The slowest, I will say, is Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Swords can be fast too. Ten of Pentacles, any of King of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles. Oh my God, it's so fucking slow. So slow. I'm still waiting for the Knight of Pentacles now. Shit takes forever. Yeah, there's something else I wanted to say, and it just freaking escaped my brain. One thing that, okay, nope, that's another question. All right.
Okay. Next question.
Yeah, next question.
I personally have noticed.
Oh, this is what came through. This is what came through. When it comes to tarot, when it comes to tarot timing.
I'll save that.
I'll save it. Save it for later. When it comes to tarot timing, the future is like, can tarot, that's a question all by itself. Can tarot predict the future? Yes and no. Like, when you're working with tarot timing, anything can fucking switch that up. It's like if you are in an airplane and there's no storm, and then all of a sudden a storm shows up and now you have turbulence, anything can really switch it up. Tarot is just answering what things currently are, and if they continue, it's going to progress as such. So when it comes to tarot timing, is like, there's a lot of factors that can switch things up. When you're shuffling and asking the question, the answer that you get is a reflection of where you're at, the status quo. But if you continue on as is, and as if nothing changes, that's why timing can be so wonky and weird, and you want to factor in your intuition, especially if you hear something or see something, then that's probably going to be the answer. But relying on tarot for timing is sometimes is a little wobbly. And go.
Okay, so when you ask a question, when you have a question that you want to pull for, is it okay to use multiple decks?
Say that again? I got distracted.
When you ask a question, is it okay to use multiple decks?
Yes.
And why is that?
Okay, so I don't know if you guys have seen me do this. I don't know if you guys are doing this. I don't know if you're seeing other people do it. But it's so dope to be able to, I don't know why I don't want these two to go together, but it's so dope to be able to layer, this is not a tarot deck, this is a Lenormand deck. But it's so dope to be able to layer one card, like one tarot deck with another one. Let's pretend that this is another tarot deck and it's not the Lenormand. Let's say you're shuffling, right? So there's 78 cards within your tarot deck. But in a lot of ways, it's kind of limited, because when you shuffle and you ask your question and you have the full layout, having another tarot deck add on to that, and the cards showing up in the same position or bringing the same type of energy and vibe in that position, only acts as additional confirmation and clarity into the question that it is that you've asked. So that's why I like to layer my cards. Kristen is saying, yes, I love the depth of messages when you layer. Right? Me too. I totally agree. Tabitha says, I like to do that with one smaller deck. Yes. I have a Rider-Waite, the mini Rider-Waite, 2 of those decks sandwiched together that I will actually use in conjunction with like a regular tarot deck, especially the regular Rider-Waite, especially if I'm working for a client, because it only adds on to what I'm like receiving during that message. And because I'm not overwhelmed, I'm able to receive more, but there's many people who will be overwhelmed with too many cards. So definitely start small. Kristen says, I like to mix oracle cards. Me too. I only just started doing that in 2018 and 2019, where I have the tarot cards flat and then I'll put a layer of an oracle deck alongside of it. I'll do that for pick-a-card readings, for group readings, because it helps people a lot. And then I will sometimes layer it for a client. And I will definitely do it for myself, because when I'm doing a reading for myself, it's not that I'm lazy, it's just easier to add that additional support onto my intuition, because what I want, my desires, my own thoughts, my own anxiety, my own internal tension gets crossed, like wires sometimes get crossed in translation when I'm reading for myself. Kristen said, I started doing it after watching you. Yes, I love that. Okay, do we have another question? What else do we have? And meanwhile, I'm going to go ahead and look at these comments really quickly, because I'm starting to see some really good questions here. Yeah, I love the death card, says Haley. Me too. I love that card. Carolyn asked a question. Did she say she was saving the video? Yes, baby. It's going to be up on my YouTube channel. I'm going to be uploading, okay? What are my favorite oracle decks? I don't have... Oh.
Well, you almost stole mine.
Oh. Well, yours is not an oracle deck. Yours is...
Oh, oracle deck. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yours is tarot.
Not paying attention.
My favorite oracle deck right now is Words from the Universe or something. It's back there. That's not a fart. That's Eric moving the chair.
All the notes of the...
I don't like that one. Wild Offering and, oh yeah, Notes of Love and Whatever from the Universe by Mike Dooley. I really like that deck. And the Enchanted Map does it for me good. And I also really, this isn't an oracle deck, but the Lenormand, the gilded Lenormand, I live for. And I just ordered this one, the flower therapy. From Doreen Virtue, and I'm really digging it, because I just, I'm doing a lot. Get closer to me. I'm doing a lot, so you're just in the camera. I'm doing a lot, and it really is so good to have Oracle to just support sometimes. Oh, uplift your thoughts. Yeah, focus your attention on the many blessings that surround you. By doing so, you'll let go depression, poor self-esteem, and excess weight. Did you just call me fat? This card's like, look, girl, stop ordering garbage food. You right. Okay.
Next question.
Hey,
Jess.
What's it?
What's a good book for beginner tarot?
Oh, I don't know. Only this one. No, honestly, on some real shit, like I should shamelessly self-promote. The best book that you'll ever get when it comes to tarot is your journal. Not even my book, because I know I can talk candidly now to the whole world. You want to know why? Because I'm not under contract. Oh my God! Writing for my book. Oh my God. Do I recommend my book? Yes, because I wrote it. But I wanted to dive in so deep with it, and they wouldn't allow me to. They literally were like, Jess, we want your voice. I was like, I'm trying to give you my voice. I'm trying. That's why I'm literally self-promoting. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that.
Some personal shit.
Woo! Right. Be like, listen. Wow, I've been living under this ocean doing this for a long time. Can you let me? And then people are like, oh, this is kind of like those other books. I was like, I know! It feels so good to get that out. Do you know how badly I've been wanting to tell the people that? All right, next question.
Why is tarot broken? Do you need a break?
Yes.
Why is tarot broken into two sections, like the major and the minor arcana?
Oh, that's a really good question. So you guys are laughing. Oh, Dominique says your book has taught me so much. I honestly really do appreciate that. I did put as much as I could in there, but they definitely edited it, and they I'm so grateful for it. I literally had a vision of prophecy that I would come to New Orleans and that I would come in, I would publish a book. As soon as I did that, as soon as I said it, I came to New Orleans and they reached out to me and they were like, Jess, I feel bad. They were amazing to work with, but there's just limitations that I'm sure that every publishing company can do. I just don't want to limit myself. So I'm going to put out my journals. Like literally I'm working on editing my own journals, and by editing them, I just mean organizing them and getting them right. Oh my God. Okay, what was your question?
Why is tarot broken into two sections?
Okay, so there's two sections to the tarot. One is the major arcana and the other one is the minor. So major arcana is all about those major milestones within our lives, like cycles, like, oh my God, I'm in this. You guys know I was in the 9 phase for a minute where I was just in the darkest depths of my soul, the dark night of the soul. Oh my God, it was so awful. I was #hermit mode. So the major arcana will show those major milestones, those major things that you look back. It's like the biggest title, the chapter of what it is that you're going through in your life. And the minor arcana is kind of like the details of it. So let's say your life is called How to Read Tarot, a Modern Guide by Jessica Wiggin. And then you have, who is she? Good question. Who is she? And then you have the major arcana, which would be the chapter page. And then the minor arcana would be like, oh, what is my role as a reader? Or, okay, another question, delivering messages responsibly, even the bad ones. So, yeah, that's what the minor arcana is. The thing is, though, is that when the major arcana shows up, or when the minor arcana, one is not better than the other one. One is not less than the other one. They're actually really equal. That's something that a common misconception that people think with the tarot. Like, oh my God, all these major arcanas are going on here, these major milestones. Let me tell you, you can get you will see sometimes trauma from the minor arcana, but it's the major arcana that are like soft as a feather, kind of floating. So don't look at the major arcana as more important or more heavier than the minor arcana, because the minor arcana can come in and punch you right in the face. Sometimes the major arcana is just showing you like, oh, fluff. You know, this is what it is. Good morning, Franklin. Would you like to come? Yes. Okay. So that's the difference between the major arcana and the minor arcana, is that the major arcana is just showing that this is a catalyst. This is a big factor for why this is happening. And the minor arcana can actually show you the annoyances that are going on that can really, mess with your head. Okay, Angela says, Jess, I love your book. It's very different from the others. I've tried, and the way that you put it together and explain the tarot, so unique and easy to learn from. Oh, good. See, I did give it my best. I just felt, I'm a perfectionist, I'm a Virgo, and I want to give my everything to everything that I touch. And I am going to do that without having to censor any aspect of myself moving forward. Next question. Do you have any other questions? Do you have questions, Eric, that you can think of on the top of your head right now?
One that I just thought about, can tarot, some people have come from different backgrounds of faith, right? Mm-hmm. Some people have come from different backgrounds of faith. So can tarot be some type of like bridge or a merger?
Absolutely.
Of, maybe like a Christian faith or whatever type of faith?
Well, first of all, whoever it is would have to have an open mind, because the tarot for a minute was super controversial. And that's the beauty of tarot, and the origin of tarot was actually working with symbols. That way we could hide esoteric knowledge and spiritual knowledge and history. There's a lot of history within many of the tarot decks, especially the Rider-Waite. and then use it to cross over and bridge between language barriers, different belief barriers, all different types of barriers. And it can be said in one card without saying anything. So, but the thing is that over time, people have misinterpreted it or interpreted it in the way that it best served their ulterior motive, whatever that be. And that's when tarot started getting a bad reputation, especially when it came to religion and politics and policies and those types of things. I have a question for you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Tables have turned.
Yes, the tables have turned. Why were you interested in the tarot? Like, what was it that made you be like, okay?
So, honestly, just like you were explaining, I came from a Christian background.
Yeah.
So anything that was tarot, anything that was trying to predict the future, it was a big no-no.
Yeah.
Right? And actually meeting you, we hit it off so well.
Oh, so what you're saying is I asked the right
yeah,
question. Oh, okay.
So meeting you, we hit it off so well, and you were such a great friend. Mm. And then I started realizing who you are, and I was like interested because I'm like, wait, this is tarot's so demonized, right?
Yeah, it is.
But meeting someone like Jess, and it's like it's so comfortable. It's so you can expand so much.
Yeah.
And you're not in this box or this bubble of I just believe in one faith. Like,
I love that.
And it's so amazing.
What was your stereotype of the tarot before you got started? It's okay to talk.
That somehow you're whispering to the devil himself. Ooh. As you're like seriously, like it's so demonized that it's like she's hearing the devil in her ear as she's like
I love
or the
that.
devil's like, take this one, show them.
Do you still feel that way? Do you still
Not at all. No.
Feelings?
I have 3 tarot decks now so far.
Oh, yeah. Wait, no. Do you have 3 tarot? Oh,
I have a zombie. I have the rider.
Okay.
And there's another one. And then the oracle deck that you gifted me.
Well, that's not tarot, then that's oracle.
Yeah, that's an oracle.
Yeah.
So I have a few things now that are not Christian faith or...
Yeah. Okay, if your family was to find out that Eric is shuffling the cards, how would they react? Do they know?
They do not know.
Oh, God. What would happen if they found out?
They would pray over me.
Ooh, well, that's good. I love prayer. Please, always pray for me.
But, for their own interests. They would, it wouldn't... I don't know. It would be some explaining to do, but...
What about people like your friends or close relationships, like intimate relationships? How do they feel about you working with the tarot or oracle?
So my older sister, is one who also came from a Christian background. And then little by little, as I talk to her about it, and she also sees that it's not demonized like that. It's not something scary. She has asked me to also kind of like pull something for her.
Okay.
We'll be on FaceTime and I'll be shuffling just for me, and she'll be like, "Oh, what do the cards say for me? Like, can you pull something?"
Yeah, I love that.
So together we're learning tarot.
I love that.
Yeah.
As you're talking, I'm looking at some of the comments too, and there's a lot of people who are saying like, they come from the same backgrounds with Christianity or like religious rules and regulations and restrictions. I too had it. I too definitely had the same experience, and I just fought back on everything, even with my own beliefs in God at the time. What is God? And I was rejecting it so hard, and then me even rejecting it was what brought me closer to the divine, is what I will call it. Yeah. What is your biggest thing that works for you now studying or working with the tarot? Like, what do you feel like is working for you to help you to learn the tarot?
Just to continue watching, there's this girl on YouTube, her name's Jessica, I think, from like Bahati Life or something.
Stop, I can't.
Watching your videos, and then also...
Wait, literally, this is not...
This is not...
I'm hearing this
I'm not
for the
getting
first
paid.
time.
You said $20, right? I get $2 for this.
Postmates.
Bahati Life has helped. No, but watching your videos, watching other people's videos.
Okay, I was like, mention other people.
Yeah, watching other videos. When I get bored, I do those pick-a card readings.
Oh,
So it's just kind of like continue to I involve myself in a lot of things, and of course reading your book. Again, not advertisement. But when I shuffle, I have your book next to me because that's how I'm like.
Do you have a tarot journal?
No, ma'am.
Okay, we'll get one. Don't put this on me and be like, oh, just tell me. Which I do appreciate that. Honestly, I do. Like, with all of my heart. But you need to get a tarot journal.
Okay.
I'm going to get you... Do you have a composition book or something? Because you got to write them down and put them on your Twitter or something. Okay, let's see. Oh, that's so perfect. Kristen says, do you have any tarot exercises you can recommend? Absolutely.
Oh, I was doing one card a day.
Oh, you were?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But you're not writing it down?
No, ma'am.
You should, because then you're going to see, like, trends, right?
Uh-oh.
So,
That's just it.
uh-oh.
Bye.
Oh, look at that. My Uber's here. I got to go. But you should write it down, because you'll start, tarot works with energy, right? And you're working with the unknown, the unseen. This is for everybody, not just you, Eric, and also for myself. But it will show you what is to come. That's why people are like, I keep seeing this card and it doesn't make any sense. Well, because you have to wait a little longer. Because it's showing you what is on the horizon, energy that's already moving under the ground, like under and around your aura, that hasn't manifested and presented itself in a physical, tangible. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean that it's not there. It's getting ready to manifest. Just like you can't see the fact that Franklin's licking my ankle right now doesn't mean that he's not here doing it. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So when you have the tarot, it's really good. Come on, baby. Such a little Leo.
Puppies.
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 So just because when you have the tarot and you're seeing these cards and you are doing the one card pulls, it's working with energy. So you, in your brain as a human being, you think, oh, it's going to limit me to just 24 hours. This card's going to cover, what I need to know for the day, because that was your question. In reality, it's going to be like, okay, yeah, you need to know this, but the tarot will step forward sometimes and tell you, you need to know this, and it'll keep showing up until then it manifests and makes itself known. For example, Knight of Pentacles, like how I was saying before, Knight of Pentacles is one of the slowest cards in the deck. I know something is coming in. I've been saying it for a minute. Something is on the horizon. It's all about me being patient and realizing that it's coming in and just being like, all right, I'll wait. But it's still taking its time to come in. So even though I haven't seen, I've got other things going on right now, like some Tower moments, some Four of Wands vibes, which is good. But all good. All of it's really good, and things that I've been wanting, but not realizing that I've been wanting, and that's been coming in. Shout out to me. Whoa. But the Knight of Pentacles is like that slow, steady trot. Something is coming in. Something's preparing itself, and I just gotta stay open. Hold on.
Someone's jealous.
Someone's jealous. There is another question. Oh, one thing that I get asked a lot is, what is the best and fastest way to learn the tarot? When you put the two of those together, the best and fastest way to learn the tarot is actually putting in the time, and that's by doing it every day. And the reason why I say it's the best is because you are separating yourself from the mundane. Like, you're separating yourself from the logic. When people pin themselves to studying a book, a meaning of the tarot, like meaning of that card, you're pinning yourself. What you don't realize that you're doing is you're diminishing and putting yourself in a box, and you're working with your logical brain. People don't realize that. The tarot works with symbolism. Your strength is going to come from your intuition. By trying to memorize and cram this information, you're working with logic and practicality. That's not how the tarot works. That's why I say over and over again in the Sacred Circle Tarot School, Elizabeth Jones says, true. No, Esther says, does Franklin have a Star Tribe hoodie? He does not. No. But he does have a gangster rap.
Yeah, he's a big baller. Look
big baller shot caller. Okay? Yeah. But when you're working with the tarot, and when you're working with the tarot and you're trying to cram that information, that is, again, society programming us and other tarot readers to be like, this is how you learn something, this is how you study something, this is the only way, is by getting it by the book verbatim, and that is simply not the case. That's why I say to every single one of my students in the Sacred Circle Tarot School, and anybody that crossed paths with me, the best way to learn the tarot is by throwing away the fucking book, including mine, revisit it if you want to, and switch it up with a journal, and start paying attention to the symbols and how does that fucking make you feel. When you see the Two of Pentacles, what vibes do you get from that? You don't need to look at a meaning from another book, mine or anybody else's, or for Eric's book that he will maybe potentially write, Franklin's book that he might be potentially write. It doesn't matter. Like, if you look at that card, how does that make you feel? Because this will tell you everything. And then it's reversed. Take that, what it made you feel this way, and then flip it, switch it, reverse it. Right? Angela says anxiety. Yeah, so that's that connection to, that's what happens when you juggle things, or you got too many things on the plate. Some of you guys will see this Two of Pentacles and you're like, I'm actually excited about it because I want more opportunity. I want more energy in my life. I want to move these things going on and on and on. So what you can't get that feeling, that vibe, that intuition, or take it to the next level if you stick with just book knowledge. If you stick with just book knowledge, all you will get is surface level, superficial, beginner to intermediate, maybe levels of study, and we want to take it to past advanced. We want to take it to high priestess level. There's too many people on the internet and in the world right now calling themselves high priestess of tarot because they're shuffling the tarot deck, when in reality is they're working from superficial, beginner, not even level study of the tarot. We don't want to do that anymore. And then they call it intuition. That's not intuition. That's not intuition. I'm sorry to say it. So, and definitely not my students. That's not how we roll. And I feel like anybody from the Sacred Circle Tarot School can, support me when I say that I simply won't allow it. I won't allow it for you. I won't allow it for my mother. I won't allow it for anybody. Not if we're working together. You're not going to work from the book. What's that?
So a sample journal entry should be like, I pulled this card today. This is the vibe it's giving me. This is the energy it's giving me.
Well, so my journal entries is the same way that I talk to the divine, same way I talk to my ancestors, same way I talk to my guides, same way I talk to you guys, and the same way I talk to you or Franklin. It's from the heart. And if I pull a card at the start of the day and I want to journal about it, then I will say at the top, the day, and I put the actual time. So let's say it's 10:09 a.m. on November 16th, 2016. Then I write that down, and then I say my daily card pull for the day is this. And I just have it. And I live my fucking life because I'm not trying to, predict what's going to happen. I'm learning right now. I'm listening. I'm not telling the tarot what I need to hear. I'm listening to what the tarot is trying to tell me. At the end of the day, I revisit it and I say, okay, Knight of Pentacles. God damn, why it's taking so long to show up? Or it could be I was on the bus. Sometimes when I look at the Knight of Pentacles, it's about taking that slower route. It's not about speeding to your destination. It's about taking your time and literally getting to your point, your destination. So maybe I was on the bus and I had this awakening when I was on the bus. Or maybe there was someone who was earth energy that came through, or someone, I was listening to them and they made me slow down and be more intentional about what it was I was thinking, what it was I was saying. So you want to stay open because the message of the night will change depending on, the energy around it, because the energy is always changing. Let's say I do a full tarot reading for myself and I'm like, okay, what is going to happen in my relationship with so-and-so? All of that gets written in the same journal, and I write down the meaning of the cards, and I allow myself to go with my intuition first by looking at what the cards I've pulled, and then write down how it makes me feel. And even then still, I don't limit it myself to that, because there's a lot of energy that's going to manifest and show itself in that tarot reading as time unfolds. Hold on, someone's asking a question. I feel really called to read it. Holly says, do you do anything in particular to prepare before doing a tarot reading? Sometimes there's a full ritual. Like, for example, before I do daily readings for you guys on my YouTube channel and for the tribe on my Instagram, I wake up, I go right into prayer. Instantly, my brain just goes wired into talking to God. Like, that's my first thought, is to communicate and to reach out to God. And then after that, I go into meditation. Then I go into breakfast. And while I'm having my breakfast or having coffee, then I'll shuffle the cards, because I just feel like energy's open and flowing, and it's like me having a partner. Single AF. It's okay. It's okay.
It's coming.
Knight of Pentacles. It's taking too damn long. But I can relate. But no, it's like me having a partner and sitting at the table having coffee with them. Hashtag Empress vibes. I open my arms to receive. But and then shuffling the cards, and I will write them down. Other times I'm annoyed or I'm anxious, I'm amped up, I'm at my desk, and I'm like, well, what do I need? What's going on? How's this going to happen? 6 of Wands. So, it just depends. Sometimes I have a full elaborate ritual. Other times I'm like anxiously walking around, shuffling really quickly before I leave. Next question.
And I think it's the last question that I have here. How do you strengthen intuition?
I like that question. How you strengthen your intuition, and then I'm gonna start closing it off, closing our night off, because let me see our timing here. Oh, look at that, yo! It's been on point, 56 and 53. Yeah, so we have an hour. Time flies when you're having fun with your tribe, talking tarot with your best friends. Okay, so when it comes to working with your intuition, number one, you have to be so freaking open to making mistakes. That's something that people are not talking about. They're saying, oh, do this, do this, do this, do this. The reality is like, to do nothing is everything. Why is it so uncomfortable for people? Oh, look at that. Look at the bottom of the deck. Why is it so uncomfortable for people to grasp the fact that doing nothing is literally everything? It shows you how society has programmed every aspect of our freaking lives, that we can't accept the fact that sometimes the best thing to do is to fall back and to listen. And sometimes the best thing to do is to expect a little less of yourself, meaning that it's not that you're not striving for greater, but sometimes to get to great, you have to allow yourself to be pulled up to great. The way to get there is to be open to listening. That's the thing that I've learned about the High Priestess, especially as I've been like getting initiated, is that it's not about you having the answers all the time. It's about you being humble and listening. You have to realize that if you're working with the tarot and if you're strengthening your intuition, it's about you receiving. It's not about you having the answers. Answers are not coming from you. If you hear a High Priestess or anybody who's working with the tarot saying that the answers, it's all coming from me, it's really not. And how quickly the divine is going to smack that concept right out of your head in order to humble you. It's about being humble and being open to receiving and downloading information. It's not about you and your ego and you getting the answer right all the time. It's about you being open, listening, and allowing the message to pass through. So when it comes to strengthening your intuition, the best thing to do is to listen and to allow yourself to be open to mistakes, allow yourself to not have the solutions to the problem. It's throwing out your logic thinking, your realistic, practical thinking, your left side of your brain, and opening up to not even the right side, but the higher side, the crown chakra. We're not working with the left, we're not working with the right. We're working with the top, the crown chakra, accessing that and allowing that to download and come through. So that being said, the best way to work with your intuition is to practice it every single day. And that means that you're going to have to allow yourself to connect with your feelings, how things make you feel, and honoring that and flowing with that. That's going to create a huge lifestyle shift that people don't want to talk about either. They're like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to strengthen my intuition, but not if it's going to make me uncomfortable. For so many of you guys, you're actually going to have to stop eating different foods. You're going to have to stop drinking coffee. You're going to have to stop. Bye, guys. I'm headed out. My Uber is here. It's weird. But yeah, you're going to have to stop being in certain relationships. You're going to have to disconnect from your family. You might have to isolate. You might have to face some of your fears and take a leap of faith, because as soon as you start listening to your intuition is going to tell you that it's time for you to do better. It's time for you to want more for yourself. And you're going to be like, la, 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 can't hear you. Like, no, it's time for you to listen and honor that and make moves. Over time, that energy starts to strengthen itself. You're going to have to deviate from your current normal status quo and do something that you haven't done in order for you to receive something you've never received. This is not just physical, this is all spiritual that I'm talking about, but it will trickle into the physical manifestation in the material world, because everything is connected. So when it comes to you working with your intuition, that's the best way to do it, is to honor it and to listen to your feelings. It's not your emotional feelings, it's your intuitive feelings. And that brings me right back to number one, which is don't be afraid to make mistakes. You are going to look like a fool, but it's not about your ego. If you're doing this for your ego, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. I think I said everything that I needed to say. Yeah. Does anybody have any questions? And then we're going to sign off and probably go get some food. Do you have time to get gumbo or no?
Mm-hmm. I have all the time for gumbo.
Yeah, you better hurry up because I'm hungry. I'm going to get some gumbo tonight. Shawnee says, say it louder for the ones in the back, Jess. I love it. Another way to strengthen your intuition is to go back to journaling. I'm sure that there's some people who are fire signs and air signs that are just like, I can't relate. I hate journaling. Then maybe find a different way. I'm a Virgo. So
fire sign and air signs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an air sign, right?
Yeah. Do you like journaling? Probably not. What works for you?
You know, I don't know. You're right. No, I'm just gonna shut up. I should start journaling though.
Yeah.
I should.
It's interesting because if there's a sign in the entire zodiac that has all of the answers, it's the Virgo.
Y'all want to see my dog?
Oh yeah, go get Ocho. Speaking of which, and then we're gonna say goodbye. Okay. How do you know if you're just clumsy or if a card is a jumper? Because your intuition will tell you, and you'll stop second guessing yourself when you practice over and over and over again. There are many times when I have cards that fall out because I'm. Oh. Come here, Franklin. I go hold you too, Bubba, so you don't feel left out.
He's got a hoodie. It's not the right one, but
It's okay.
he's an active one.
Hi, everybody. Good morning.
Hi, Ocho.
Ocho. Guess who named Ocho? Me. So cute. Isn't he the cutest? We get in the camera so they can see.
Simba, my son. Say that.
No, don't say that because Simba's dad died.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
I'm right here, baby.
Never gonna leave you.
Can I say that, like, I legit cried
What?
when I got him? Like, so he's adopted, right? I adopted him. And I never knew that dogs can really, like, change your life.
Yeah.
So as he's sleeping, I'm there like, you changed my life.
You know what I love, though? So Eric was talking about, I hate to bring it back to me.
What? Oh.
But it really brings it back to you. But Eric was talking about having a puppy, and I just was so happy with our progress that we were making and how much you have helped me with getting orders, you know, shipped out and sent out and organized with emails. Eric is so dope at it with Mel and Ashley. And the thing is, like, I work in spirituality, so I was like, I always honor my ancestors. I always honor my guides. I'm like, I need to honor those working for me, living now. So I created my altar, and I went above and beyond with the flowers because you guys have gone above and beyond for me, right, Ocho? Yes, you're the best daddy in the world. And so I set up the whole altar. I lit the 3 candles for you guys, and then within 24 hours, legit, the universe freaking brought Ocho into Eric's life, and it just is such a freaking blessing to have these 2 little squish balls. We should walk them.
Yeah, we should.
We're not together. Don't mistake this. For anybody who doesn't know, we're definitely friends. Eric is in a relationship.
I thought we had something. Awkward.
Awkward.
I thought we were something.
Oh, what we had was special! No.
No.
Alright, yo, you guys, we're gonna go get some gumbo. Do you want to walk the dogs to go get gumbo? Yay!
Not together.
No. If you guys have any questions or anything like that, definitely let me know down in the comments. Of course, I'll answer them for you. For those of you guys that are watching this on YouTube channel, make sure that you're subscribed to my YouTube channel because we're playing more videos of this game. And for those of you guys that are watching this live with me in the Sacred Circle Tarot School, I apologize for my pimple right here, but also it's such a blessing to be able to do this with you guys. And you guys' comments are so dope, and we'll look at them. Good night. Thank you so much for tuning in. Okay, bye.